And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Go ahead and say it, Ed. Go Tigers!
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
You like that? You like that?
F it. Jamar's down there somewhere.
The New Orleans Saints select Marcus Davenport.
No!
Splash Brothers. Yeah.
It's playoff. Keep going, Brace.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
What is up, guys? Dirty Boots Sports, and we are back with episode number 139, right?
Yep, 139.
139.
Ronald Acuna, Eddie Rosario.
He wears 8.
He wore 9 the championship run.
No, he didn't.
Bet.
He wore 9?
Google it.
No shot.
Google it.
No shot.
Google it. Orlando Arcia wore 8 for the championship run.
Eddie wore 9?
Yeah, buddy.
He wore 8.
He did wear 8 then.
That's with Jock right there.
Orlando must have wore 9.
Told you. Come on now.
Look up Orlando.
I don't think Eddie's ever worn 9.
Look up Orlando. Well, he's wearing 9 right there for the Indians.
Orlando Arcia, number 9. 11. I don't know.
From this year.
I don't think anybody wore 9.
Go to his baseball reference.
Who cares?
Yeah,
you look it up. Yeah, let's stay on track.
Sorry.
Don't ever. Come on, playoff Eddie. Don't you ever remember? How can you not remember that the NLCS? Come on.
I could have sworn I remember seeing the jersey change.
Never.
Never.
But yeah, we are back. Another episode. AFC North. It is, and also our Dirty 5 cornerbacks. It was just me and Chance again.
Yeah, Orlando wore it in 2021.
He did?
Yeah.
We're going back to back, finishing up our previews.
Right back, like I never left.
Got some other stuff to talk the next couple weeks, plus no pod next Sunday because LSU.
That is true. When are we going to do our Super Bowl favorites?
The day before the season starts.
Okay. So
September 6th.
Cool.
Wednesday. We got a lot of stuff to do that night.
Yeah.
And also LSU preview, hopefully, Wednesday night.
That's a week from Wednesday.
Yeah. We got 10 days from now is the football season.
Yeah.
That's all you got to say. And 1 week from now, LSU's going to be playing. We're going to be pissed off right now. More than likely.
Yeah, we're probably going to lose week 1.
Why not? Why not? But yeah, it's just going to be me and Chance tonight. Same reasons as the last pod, if you've heard. We're back, though, finishing this out. And then, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to cover before we get to the actual season, but cannot wait for that to happen. So freaking close, 10 days.
You know, like the worst part about this is we're wishing for it to start, and then it's going to fly by
freaking be
like
over.
It does every year.
Hey, but then the Warriors play in 58 days, so
yeah,
that'll make me a little bit happier.
Like, and in a blink of an eye,
and we'll have the Braves World Series run.
In a blink of an eye, we're going to be counting down the days to spring training. Like, it's so freaking depressing.
Yeah, it's sports. Hey, but before that, March Madness.
Yeah.
Woo! I've got 2 TVs downstairs. Can't wait for
box
that.
and the big one.
Let's go. But yeah, let's go ahead and do an ad read, and then we'll get into this. Waste no time, because probably got a lot to say about these teams tonight. Hopefully it's not as freaking crazy as that AFC West is. That was just brutal.
I don't think there can be a harder division than as far as scheduling.
That AFC West is tough.
It's terrible.
It's tough. Let's go Mimi's. Mimi's is a children's boutique located in Jonesboro that fulfills all clothing needs for your little ones. Owners Melissa Johnson and Megan Rao offer children and baby boutique brand clothing and accessories, vinyl print t-shirts, and so much more. You can find them on Main Street in Jonesboro from 10 to 6, Tuesday to Friday, and 10 to 2 on Saturday. Shout out Mimi's. I know they got some LSU gear in for your kids, and I think also for adults that are females. I think I saw. I think Melissa said that today.
Adults that are females.
Yeah, some glitter shirt that says
"Go Tigers."
Go on the Bayou or something like that. I don't know. One of them LSU type sayings. Something with an EAUX. I'm sure.
Yeah, all over it.
Yeah. sparkly, all that. So
Purple,
go get
gold,
that.
white.
Get your kids some clothes.
Speaking of LSU, shout out to our new number 7 and number 18.
Yeah. Will Campbell, or number 60, whatever, or
66.
66 plus
/
7. Yeah. And then who's 18?
Mickey Wingo.
Yeah, Makai Wingo.
I like the fact that they're making 7
Louisiana
only now.
But it's also kind of weird
because Pat Pete.
Yeah, Pat Pete's Florida.
Which the first number 7 I think of is Allie Highsmith.
No, Tyron.
I'm talking about like the first one ever.
Yeah.
Like that's the first one that I can remember. Like, okay, he was an absolute animal.
But I think Tyron, which everyone says Pat Pete made 7.
It didn't become a thing until Tyron wanted to wear 7 because of Pat Pete.
So, yes, that's
when it
pretty much
became a thing.
And I think if you ask most people, number 7 LSU, it's Tyron.
Absolutely. Or
I
Fournette.
think so.
It goes Tyron then Fournette.
Yeah.
Because Pat Pete didn't have the social media age.
That's true. And was on like kind of sucky teams.
Yeah.
That was on the 4 running back 100-yard passing era. Yeah. We'll talk about some LSU players later.
Yeah, we will.
Definitely in this division. They're everywhere. But yeah, I think it sucks that Campbell can't wear 7. Just let him be 7 at tackle. Why not? What's it freaking hurt?
Who cares?
What's it hurt?
It doesn't.
He's not going to report as eligible or something? Or like, is that the reason why?
They're worried he's going to sneak and wander off.
Well, if Will Campbell catches a ball, oh well.
Yeah.
That's on you for not seeing him.
I mean, he's 6'7".
Yeah,
think, so.
6'7", 300. Like, if you don't see that man running out for a route wearing 7.
It's the biggest number 7 I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, besides Kelton.
Yeah.
Let's get into this. So, I think the Browns were last place.
Definitely were.
So, the Browns, this number 1 signing right here, Josh Dobbs, cut or traded.
On an airplane as we speak, going to Arizona. Ain't that right?
No, he's already there. He's already there.
He's got his golf clubs.
Marquise Goodwin, who came off the PUP today and might be in a bigger role because Jakeem Grant tore his patella tendon.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's out for the year, and he was their returner gadget type guy, which Goodwin is essentially Jakeem Grant. So
yeah,
but Jakeem Grant is better,
but older.
Elijah Moore, they brought him in for pretty much nothing. Just
taking a flyer.
Yeah, pick swap, moved down about 30 spots and took a second round pick wide receiver from about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So
who was in a fight to be first round pick.
Yeah, definitely.
So I remember people were asking who's better, him or DK.
Yeah,
because they both played at Ole Miss. You know.
Jordan Akins brought him into tight end room. Ethan Poshik, 3-year, $18 million deal.
Akins will have a 2 touchdown week one time this year.
Always. Did not know Poshik signed that long, so good for him.
I knew he was going to be good whenever he was at LSU. Well, not good, but I knew he was going to have a career.
Yeah. Zadarius Smith brought him in. Huge move right there. I think that's going to just open up so much for Miles. Agbo Okoronkwo, I'm not really sure that is, to be honest, but 3-year, $19 million deal.
You want to know a cool story about Zadarius Smith?
Yeah.
There was a show that came on, I think it was called the Oxygen Network or something like that, called The Agent. And it was about sports agents for NFL players. And he was one of the highlighted players whenever he was at Kentucky. And another highlighted player was Tevin Coleman, actually, whenever he was at Indiana. And the guy who
Zadarius went to Kentucky.
Huh?
I didn't know he went to Kentucky.
Yeah. The guy who represents Zadarius Smith is Jeff Guerrero from Monroe.
Wow. Yeah.
He's a sports agent.
Huh.
Yep.
I don't know who this guy is.
So there's a little fun fact about Zadarius Smith being connected to Monroe, Louisiana.
That much closer to bringing him on the pod.
I wonder if he still is. There's no way he's still his agent because Zadarius took off.
Yeah, made a lot of money. Tristan Hill, guy from the Cowboys who they took a flyer on. Maurice Hurst, Dalvin Tomlinson, 4-year, $57 million deal. Very big move there. That D-line, man, I'm telling you, Miles is going to have a big year. Big year.
It's not Miles against the world no more.
Nope. It's not. And Jadeveon was never that type of guy on the other edge. He's just a run stopper. You've got legit people
dudes.
around Miles. Yeah. I mean, Za'Darius was like a top 10 edge rusher last year.
Yeah, he changed his representation.
Anthony Walker's back. Taki, Mike Ford in the slot for corner, as I mentioned earlier on the last pod for my Dirty Five safeties. Juan Thornhill, 3-year, $21 million to play alongside Grant Delpit. A little bit of LSU action there.
Yeah.
And then Rodney McLeod, who I think is a very underrated signing as well. More safety depth. The Browns needed safety depth. They've been playing Ronnie Harrison every year, it seems like, somehow, some way. And now they're not going to have to because you got Juan. Grant Delpit was great last year. Browns going to be good.
Probably not. But
Browns are going to be good. Jacoby Brissett's gone. Kareem Hunt is, I guess, gone. You never know. Might just come back. Dearness Johnson, I think, is going to end up being cut from the Jags and probably make a way back to Cleveland. Jadeveon Clowney's gone to the Ravens. We'll talk about him later. Chase Winovich. Deion Jones, I forgot he was there for a little bit at the end of the year. Greedy Williams was cut and then cut from the Eagles already. So Ronnie Harrison, mentioned him earlier. John Johnson, both guys that needed to be replaced and are. Let's take a look at their draft. Cleveland. Cedric Tillman, Tennessee wide receiver who has performed pretty well in the preseason so far. You got some Samoan-type name from Baylor at D-tackle. That's always a position you want.
Siakiaki.
Yeah. DeJuan Jones, who was huge at tackle. Very large man. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, probably the story of the draft class for them, who just performed almost too well. He's been great in the preseason and solidified himself as the number 2, and it led to them trading Josh Dobbs.
Just sucks that he's never going to go farther than that now, kind of.
Yeah, but there's always stuff can always happen.
Yeah.
All it takes is Watson to rest week 18 or be hurt for a week, and then
Matt Flynn
it. Yep, boom. But yeah, DTR, very good player, and I like the fit a lot. They also, whenever they traded Dobbs, that allowed them to keep Kellen Mond, who hasn't looked great, but that's another name that's developmental and has that potential.
He was a big-time recruit. And
former second-round pick, I believe.
Yeah.
Wait, did Miggy hit that off of Verlander?
No shot.
Back it up.
There's no shot.
Because I saw them talk about this is their last matchup.
Yeah, but that would have been everywhere.
No. Phil Matan. Shout out Tech.
Yeah, La Tech.
Looks like he just threw a freaking meatball up there to him.
He did. That would have been everywhere if he did it off of Verlander.
Yeah. It's cool he did in the last matchup, though.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at...
you're looking at 2 first-ballot Hall of Famers.
Teammates, too.
No doubt, It's crazy.
The depth chart for the Browns. Deshaun Watson. Can he play worth his money? That's going to be tough to do, but he did take some type of pay cut this year. So it's kind of lower on the salary. The Browns have the most salary in the NFL. Salary cap remaining.
Really?
Most salary.
Which at this point,
I think it's like $25 million. They have like a crazy amount. But saving that much this year helps them next year when Watson's deal fully kicks in.
That's probably what they're looking at.
Yeah, probably.
They're kind of like, okay, let's save some money this year so we pay the bills next year.
Yeah. Nick Chubb, running back. Running back, y'all.
Never heard of the backup running back.
Jerome Ford.
Never heard of such. I've heard of Demetric Felton.
Demetric Felton is signed last year from UCLA, or drafted. 5th-round pick from Cincinnati last year. Didn't do much. I'm not sure about him. I've heard
they lost both their
they just
top
signed.
backups.
They just traded for Pierre Strong today, so I think he's going to make the roster if you make that type of move this late. Amari Cooper, big year last year. Elijah Moore, DPJ, Donovan Peoples-Jones, like him a lot. Cedric Tillman's played well. David Bell from Purdue, playing well again. Marquise Goodwin just got activated today, so I'm assuming he'll make the team. Jalen Darden, down there from North Texas. Saw him give UTEP about 200 yards one time. But I think that top 6 is who's going to make it.
It was like week 1 of the season, too, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then since Jakeem got hurt, that definitely sucks for him. But
He's had a decent career, so he's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
He ain't gonna be hurting.
Tight end, David Njoku got his money, got where he wanted to be. Hopefully he doesn't request a trade yet again. Jordan Akins, I like that as a backup. He always performs well for a little bit in Houston. Harrison Bryant has the potential to be something solid. If
Still waiting on that to happen.
Yeah, that is your third tight end you feel good about.
Yeah.
Jedrick Wills, hopefully he can stay more consistent. Kind of had a down year last year after a pretty solid rookie year. Joel Bitonio, great guard, one of the best. Ethan Poshik in the middle. Nick Harris, backup guard from Washington, I believe. Wyatt Teller, one of the best guards in the NFL. Jack Conklin, a little bit of health issues there, but DeJuan Jones is a large man that you can back him up with. O-line's great. Offense is great. They're gonna score points. Defense, maybe even better. Let's see. Myles Garrett, Ogbo Okonkwo, who they've signed, gonna be a backup. Just why not? Shelby Harris is here. Holy crap! When did he get
I don't
there?
know who that is.
He's the guy that was in the trade for Russ. He's the veteran from Denver that went to Seattle.
Huh.
When did that happen? Wow.
Seahawks released him.
He might not make the roster, but that's a talented guy. Tommy Tagai, Jordan Elliott, Zadarius Smith. That's a heck of a D-line, and they're deep. Not going to require Miles to essentially go against the world, as you said earlier. Looking at the linebackers, my boy, JOK, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Waiting for that breakout. He was one of my breakouts last year. I think that he's just going to take another step this year. Anthony Walker, hopefully he can stay on the field. Solid linebacker, just one of those 100-tackle type of guys.
Hey, Jalen Phillips getting hurt.
Yeah. Jacob Phillips was...
Yeah, not Jalen, Jacob.
Yeah,
That's right.
he would have been a good part of the team, but I think they got the guys to make up for it. Taki always finds his way on the field. So, looking in the secondary, love the secondary. Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, very good cornerback duo. Injury concerns a little bit. They both missed some time last year. If Denzel stays on the field, he could be mentioned in that top 5 that we do tonight.
He's really good.
He's really good. I look at Denzel the same way that I look at Marshawn Lattimore. I essentially think they're the same player. But they both get hurt a little bit, and
people forget about it.
Yeah, essentially. Greg Newsome, though, from Northwestern, very good player. And then, as I mentioned, at safety, Grant Delpit, LSU. We all know about him. We know the talent he has. Pair him up with Ron Thornhill, who has a championship experience, 2 championships with Kansas City. Now it's coming to hopefully bring another one to Cleveland and a very good defense. Rondy McLeod behind him. You got Martin Emerson at corner, Mike Ford at corner. They got depth, man. They got depth on defense. That's all I'm saying. They're going to be good. Cade York at kicker is probably their biggest question mark.
Yeah.
He sucks.
Look at the position, the schedule. Let's look at the schedule.
Let's take a look. Cincy week 1.
God, you're playing two division teams all
three of the first 4.
I hate that.
Not great. Let's see. So yeah, Cincy week 1.
When's Burrow gonna play?
Week 1.
Really?
Yeah, he's gonna play.
I thought he was gonna be out a couple.
No, screw that. He's back. Cincy week 1. It's in Cleveland though. They do the Raiders split week 1 and week 18, which is probably good.
Cool.
And it's at Cincy week 18, so
rest.
Maybe Cincy's resting, maybe Cincy's fighting for a playoff spot. At Pittsburgh week 2, Monday Night Football. That's fun. That's always a good matchup to watch on primetime.
Yeah. The colors fit.
Yeah, and that's
a good color matchup right there.
Like that'll be a very good just what are these teams going to be?
Yeah.
Let's sit down on a Monday night, watch 2 teams that if they can figure it out can be fighting for the playoffs this year. I love that matchup in Pittsburgh as well. That's a great place to have Monday Night Football versus Tennessee versus Baltimore. So 3 home games and at Pittsburgh your first 4 before a week 5 bye. What's your record? 2-2. 2-2 at the worst.
2-2 at the worst. What you're looking for?
Yeah. If you go 3-1, you're happy.
If you go 3-1, you're shocked.
You're shocked?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see them beating Cincinnati or Baltimore. Now that you told me Joe's going to be back.
Versus San Francisco right after the bye. We'll see how that team looks this year. At Indianapolis,
I hope Brock Purdy falls off a cliff, man.
I think the Niners are going to not be great.
I hope he falls off a cliff.
What's their line? I'm taking the under.
I think it's like 12.5.
I have a weird feeling about that team. Weird feeling. At Indianapolis, at Seattle, versus Arizona. That's where you start to pick up some wins. Hopefully, you need to go at least 2-1 in that stretch, preferably 3-0. It's hard to just get a win in Seattle, and I think Seattle's going to be good this year. But that's a good stretch right there. At Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. At Denver, at Los Angeles Rams, both winnable games. Versus the Jags, versus the Bears. At the Texans versus the Jets on Thursday Night Football, Week 17. It's a heck of a matchup there. And then at Cincinnati, Week 18. That second half of the schedule is easy. Not easy, but easier than what we saw last episode.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's going to be as bad as what we saw last episode.
What's their line? Are you looking at them?
9.5.
Oh, Cleveland?
Yep.
Wow. Give me the other ones.
Shoot. Cincinnati, 10.5. Pitt, 8.5. Baltimore, 10.5.
Oh, my God. It's pretty much like no one really knows, and they're just all putting them near the same.
Yep.
That's tough. 9.5. I think they can do it. I think that the early bye does suck, but at least after that, like, you can kind of regroup. And if you go into that bye 2-2, 3-1, I really like their chances to finish strong. You miss Kansas City, you miss Buffalo, you miss Philadelphia. You do play San Francisco, but we'll see about that team. I don't know, man. I kind of like it. I think 10 can happen. But 9 feels pretty safe.
Yeah.
I think they're over 500.
Yeah, I do.
It's a good line.
It's like Vegas knows.
Yeah, it's like Vegas look at these schedules and makes the line. I mean, I'm gonna go over. I'll go 10 and 7. I really think they're gonna be a good team this year.
Give me the under. They're the Browns.
Yeah.
That you always have to factor that in.
Yeah.
No matter how much we think they've changed, they're still the Browns.
It's also a big year for Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, it's make or break yet again.
Yeah. And, I mean, honestly, for Deshaun's got to prove that investment's not just awful for them.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Pittsburgh. Miles Boykin, Allen Robinson, who people are saying sneakily looks good. Not biting that bullet again.
About to say, it's like we've been saying that forever.
Yeah. Brought in some O-linemen to help out. Isaac Samalo, 3-year, $24 million. Larry Ogunjobi from Charlotte, former Browns legend, re-signed 3 years, $28 million.
And,
got the bag.
And Bengals legend, huh?
I think so, yeah. Making his way around.
Making his rounds, ain't he?
Cole Holcomb, 3 years, $18 million. Landon Roberts. Pat Pete, 2 years, $14 million. Forgot about him. Chandon Sullivan, DeMonte KZ, Keanu Neal, 2 former Falcons, both into Pittsburgh to, I guess, back up Minka. Let's take a look at their losses. Mason Rudolph finally ran away from Myles Garrett.
Forever, it looks like.
Yeah. Derek Watt's gone.
Whoa, they've changed Benny Snell's name.
Benjamin.
Wow, he must have had a kid or something.
Devin Bush is gone. Their linebacker that they took, 5 overall?
Stupid high out of Michigan.
We were at that draft. Went to the Seahawks. Miles Jack retired from football. William Jackson is still out there. I think he just visited the Giants, I believe.
Is Miles Jack about to be a plumber?
A plumber?
Or an electrician?
I don't think either.
He's about to do some type of real, job.
He's made a lot of money.
He
made a lot of money.
I'm going to look it up.
Cameron Sutton went to the Lions. We talked about him earlier. Terrell Edmonds. They lost a solid bit in that secondary, but they're the Steelers. Their defensive system's always going to rise to the top. Let's take a look at their draft. We have
Miles Jack considered becoming an electrician or a plumber before signing with the Eagles. So I guess he's going to go back to that now since he retired.
Just been waiting on that. I don't know what that is. House is creaking. Look at the draft. Broderick Jones, tackle from Georgia. One of those guys that was in that consideration for the top dog at tackle this year. And then second round, they took the pick everyone expected. Joey Porter Jr. They brought him back home to the place where he knows very well, Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh knows Joey Porter very well. So
Yep.
It's always very cool to see.
He used to coach there.
Darnell Washington, who people say looks like a beast in camp. Who would have ever believed it?
I mean, he
The
only
si-
looks
the
like he's
6'8",
chiseled out of
yeah.
freaking stone.
The 6'8", like 260 man that's swole as can be and just a freak athlete. He's a very he's a good athlete and he looks good in football.
Shocker.
Yeah. I
First
also
one off
saw
the
that he's
bus.
like manhandled TJ Watt at times in one-on-one
that's interesting.
blocks. Yeah, like Tomlin said, I'm putting you here, you go and beat TJ Watt. Like challenged him, and he did.
And he said, yes, sir.
Yeah. So that was very cool. Yeah, I mean, it's the Steelers. They're going to draft well. They always do. Let's take a look at their team. Obviously, at quarterback, Kenny Pickett did he start the entire year last year? I think he did.
Yeah.
did Mitch start week
Mitch
2?
started week 1 or 2.
But
And
Kenny,
then Kenny came against the
there might not have been a better preseason quarterback than Kenny Pickett this year. Kenny looked great. He looked really, really good. Can he take that step? I like Kenny. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. And it just makes that freaking division tougher and tougher.
Yep.
Najee Harris, can he be back to what he was as a rookie? We'll see.
What did he have? The plantar fasciitis?
Probably. Jalen Warren is the backup, though, who looks
No, he
really
had Liz
good.
Frank. Najee had Liz Frank.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Jalen Warren looked really good.
Yep.
Backup running back. Maybe he starts to get some more of his reps.
Now that Benny Snell's gone.
Yeah, that's true. Wide receiver Deontay Johnson, Mr. 1,000 yards, 150 targets, and can't score touchdowns.
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, George Pickens, Allen Robinson. George Pickens looks like he's starting to take that step. That's very good. Calvin Austin, I've heard some stuff about him. Did they just already cut their players? Or did they only bring in 8 receivers to camp?
I know the Raiders cut some people.
Oh, they got
today.
Gunnar Olszewski. Is he going to be the returner? Yep.
Is that
Returner number 2.
Michigan State?
He's a hard worker.
Yeah. Click on him. I
I'm
think
not-
he played for the Patriots.
Ooh.
Who? Excuse me?
Bemidji State.
Huh.
Looks like Channing Tatum with a gold wig.
Oh, my God.
Look at that. Number 89.
Touchdown, Jesus.
Hard worker. Pat Fryermuth, the tight end. Darnell Washington's listed as 4th, but yeah, I'll be shocked if that happens. Oh, Connor Hayward, the brother of Cameron, just because the Steelers like
He's a
doing that
blocker,
crap.
Yeah.
O-line, not great, honestly. James Daniels, solid guard. Looks like Broderick Jones isn't starting. Isaac Samalu, they brought him in this year.
He doesn't have a backup.
They just traded Dotson, who started at either guard or tackle for them the past couple years. Traded him to the Rams, I believe, today. Larry Ogunjobi, they have him at end, I guess, in that 3-4 system.
Yeah.
Cameron Hayward, beast, very underrated. TJ Watt coming off the edge with Alex Highsmith on the other edge. Very good edge rushing duo. Speaking of people on TV, see about Alex Highsmith?
No.
That in what show was it? What show was Katie Holmes in? It's like mid-2000s.
Medea.
No,
She used to be married to Tom Cruise, that's all I know.
it's one of those like Vampire Diary.
Gilmore Girls or some junk.
Yeah, something along the lines of that.
Yeah.
One Tree Hill, maybe.
Yeah, what about it? Is he in it or something?
He was like the baby. Dawson's Creek, that's it. He was like the baby in like
Really?
season 3 or something.
Well, that's cool.
And he just came out this week and said it. And people
Hey,
have
I'm
been
a former child actor.
Yeah. Like legit 2-month-old baby in the scene. And he brought that up on in camp, and people were
That
talking
feels like a
about it.
hard knock story.
Yes, it does. It does. Looking at linebacker, though, you got Cole Holcomb, Landon Roberts, Quan Alexander, Tanner Muse, Clemson. Remember him?
I do. White fella.
Nick Kwiatkowski, Quincy Roche. I got some names there. Looking at the secondary, Joey Porter Jr. looks like he's stepping in to start already. Pat Pete's playing second string. Yeah, I'll believe that. Levi Wallace, Bama, undrafted, went to Buffalo, performed really well. Very underrated corner. Safety, Minka, talked about him last episode. DeMonte KZ, Keanu Neal. They got some depth. They got some depth. Chris Boswell still kicking it. Presley Harvin.
They got depth in the position you need it in this division with all the passing that's going to happen.
Definitely. That defense is going to be good. Can the offense take the step and be able to hang with the rest of the NFL, essentially? We'll see, but take a look at their schedule. San Fran, week 1. That's a weird matchup. San Fran, Pittsburgh, week 1. 1990s and 80s football.
Yeah, this is the AFL.
Dreams.
Yeah.
In Pittsburgh, and then Cleveland, week 2. We talked about that. What is that? A cricket?
Yep, that's exactly what that is.
At Las Vegas, at Houston, versus Baltimore. Bye week, week 6. Another early bye week. What do we think in the first 5? Hopefully 2 and 3, maybe 3 and 2.
I was thinking 2 and 3 at the worst.
You want to be in that 2 and 3, 3 and 2 range.
You got to beat Vegas and Houston, and then
those are both on the road. You're going to give them one of the home games.
Yeah, you're going to either beat San Fran or Cleveland or Baltimore.
You're going to get one of those home games.
It's that division. Like
anybody
it doesn't
can beat
matter.
anybody.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who
except
you are.
for Cleveland and Pittsburgh for like a decade until Baker came in.
Yeah,
save the franchise. But that playoff game.
Yep.
After the bye week, pretty favorable schedule here. At Los Angeles versus Jacksonville versus the Titans on Thursday night versus the Packers. 3 straight home games that I would say are all winnable. At Cleveland, at Cincy versus Arizona versus New England, another Thursday night game in Pittsburgh. TV cameras are just going to be there every week. At Indianapolis versus Cincy, at Seattle, at Baltimore. That second half's favorable.
Yeah, very, very winnable games.
Like this opening stretch right after the bye, Rams, Jags, Titans, Packers. You might go 4-0 there.
Could. It's possible.
3 and 1. 3 of them being at home. But at the same time,
I like their schedule structure better than the other ones.
Yeah.
You get them little
Homestands.
streaks. You get a homestand, then you got a 2-game road, 2-game home, 1 game.
And it looks
road,
like
1
all
game home.
all the primetime games they play are at home.
Yeah.
You have that Cincy game week 16 is on a Saturday at 3:30. Christmas Eve again. 8.5. Right.
Yes, I think 9's doable.
I like 9. I think Kenny's going to take that step.
Well, you play 17 games, Clay.
Am I giving Pittsburgh 9, Cleveland 9? Cleveland 10.
No, you know where I'm going.
What?
You play 17 games. What has Mike Tomlin never done?
Oh, he don't go under 500.
So that's 9.
I'll give
Hammer
him 9.
the over.
I like 9.
Yep.
I'm at 9 and 10 so far.
Yeah.
Which I just went under on the whole West, so maybe this is where it makes up. Yeah.
Even though they don't play the West.
yeah.
They don't.
Vegas.
That's about it.
Everybody probably plays 1.
Yeah, because of the placing.
Let's move on to Baltimore. Baltimore, number 1 signing. Some guy named Lamar Jackson, who signed for 5 years, $260 million. Big money for Lamar. Brought back Justice Hill, who always will be there.
He'll play football for him.
And Gus Edwards, never leaving.
Nope.
I couldn't see either of them in a different jersey. Odell brought him in, 1-year deal worth up to $18 million. Ain't no telling what kind of contract incentives you got in that
He
thing.
has to play 17 games to get $4 million.
He probably gets $3 million if he hits 1,000 yards or something. Yeah. Nelson Aguilar. How about that?
I wonder what his base salary is. I'm about to go look that up.
Nelson Aguilar, 1 year, $3.2 million.
He feels like a Ravens receiver.
Yeah, definitely. Ravens' 1 receiver. He's going to be a 4. Trayvon Mullen, Rock Ya-Sin. There we go.
There it is.
$6 million. Geno Stone brought him back. Very good depth safety for them. Take a look at their departures. Kenyon Drake, who I think got cut from the Colts today.
Yeah, Odell's base salary is
$9 million.
1.1.
Oh my God!
They deferred it for.
Talking about bet on yourself, huh?
They deferred till 2027, like the rest of it.
Wow. Demarcus Robinson's gone. Sammy Watkins.
Dang, dude.
Jawan James. Ben Powers went to the Broncos. Talked about him. Calais Campbell to the Falcons.
Sport Rack is awesome.
They got the incentives.
$3 million worth of receptions. So if he hits 30 receptions, he gets $250,000. 40 is $500. 50 is $750. 60 or lead the team is $1 million. So that's $3 million total there. Receiving yards, $250. You get $250,000. He gets $1,000 per yard, basically. Then receiving touchdowns,
$1,000 per yard.
250 yards, he gets $250,000
this year.
Yeah, it's 500 yards, you get $500,000.
Oh my God!
It's up to $1 million. Receiving touchdowns, 3 will be $250,000, 5 will be $500,000, 7 will be $750,000.
Betting on himself.
If all this happens,
he gets $18 million.
2024 through 2027 years automatically void.
Oh,
like his monies.
That's cool. So if he does a lot for them this year, they don't have to pay him in the future.
Correct.
I like that.
That is extremely interesting.
That's the Ravens front office for you.
Yeah.
Calais Campbell's went to the Falcons. Kyle Fuller, Marcus Peters, both gone. Chuck Clark got traded. Take a look at their draft, which I'm sure is probably the best in the NFL. Always is. Let's see what random steal they got this year. I can't even remember. Baltimore. Where you at? Here we go. Zay Flowers, wide receiver, number 22 overall. I love that pick. I think he's going to be incredible this year for them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're. Oh, here we go. They're still the draft is Andrew Voorhees, who would have been a top 100 pick, but I think he tore his ACL or something.
Yeah, I recognize that name.
Yep, here we go. ACL tear at the combine.
There you go.
So, and he could end up being a tremendous round 7 value.
And he'll probably do it.
He'll be a top paid guard in about 3 years.
Whenever they took Orlando Brown.
Yeah, absolutely.
With all those question marks about his slowness.
Yeah. Trenton Simpson from Clemson, linebacker. The Ravens got A grades on every bit of their draft.
Yeah, because of the Ravens.
I don't even think people look. It's like the Ravens drafted them and giving you an A. Something when I was looking up about the safeties, Kyle Hamilton, remember, fell in the draft.
Yeah.
He was slow at the combine, had a lot of concerns after being like, oh, he's going to be a solidified top 5 pick. He was he had one of the best coverage ratings last year of any safety.
Yeah, it's almost like if he's good in college, he's going to be good in the NFL. People overthink crap, dude.
Yeah.
I think it's because you have such a long break before the draft that you have to overthink stuff.
Probably.
Coming out of the combine, going into the combine, he was going to be a top 5 pick. And then the combine happens and he runs a 4.7 instead of a 4.5.
Did he go day 2 or into day 1?
He was a first round pick.
Okay. I couldn't remember
I
if
think
he fell to
got
the second.
14th.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Let's take a look at the Ravens. Ravens depth chart. Quarterback, Lamar Jackson. My guy. Lamar's going to have a big year this year.
Yeah,
Something else we got to mention. OC, bring in
what's his face?
Blank on his name now. I've talked about him so many times on the fantasy
Todd
pod.
Monken?
Yep. That's it.
You like that pool?
Todd Monken from Georgia. You got J.K. Dobbins at running back, Gus Edwards, Justice Hill, Melvin Gordon. They play all running backs. They have 4, and they will use them all.
All 4 of them will get plenty of touches.
Absolutely. Rashad Bateman, Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham, best wide receiver core he's ever had.
Ever seen.
Nelson Aguilar is the number 4.
Devin Duvernay.
Solid. Tylan Wallace. Quan Treadwell's down there.
He's still a first-round draft pick.
Absolutely. Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely, great 1-2 punch at tight end. Likely is one of those guys that if Andrews goes down, Likely's a top 5 tight end in fantasy.
Yeah.
He's that kind of guy. Patrick Ricard, elite fullback, best in the NFL besides Juice. Ben Mason also from Michigan, I believe. Because you're the Ravens, you're bringing in 2 fullbacks.
He's going to be on the practice squad.
Yeah. Looking at the
nobody's
O-line.
going to take him because nobody needs a fullback.
Yeah. O-line, Ronnie Stanley at left tackle, very, very good. Morgan Moses at right tackle, veteran guy, been around a while. Tyler Linderbaum, another one of the classic Ravens steals.
Iowa center.
Is it Iowa?
I think he's from Iowa.
I think it is. I couldn't.
Him and Creed Humphrey are both from Iowa, I think.
Creed's from Oklahoma.
Same thing.
Kevin Zeitler, right guard. John Simpson. They're a very good O-line. Always will be. Taking a look at the defense. Justin Mambaduki.
Whoever that is.
Michael Pierce, Broderick Washington, Brett Urban. D-line doesn't really matter much for them. They're going to be those.
They'll be good
Michael
somehow.
Pierce has been in Baltimore for like a decade.
Yeah, I was just about to say, looking at the 2 pass rushers, like, I don't know them.
Owe? Adafe Owe?
Yeah.
He's from Michigan. He was a hurt guy. They took him in the second
That's
round.
That guy. Yeah, that was like a year or 2 ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think 2021. Yeah. Oh, Penn State, my bad. Michigan was Uche that the Patriots took.
Uche. That was like around the same time as like Mo Hurst.
Yes.
Where he was having all of his issues.
Yeah, Owe's a very good edge rusher. Tyus Bowser's been there for a while, and then David Ojabo, is he Michigan?
That is Michigan. 1,000,000%.
Boom. Second round Michigan last year. He missed last year with injury.
He got hurt.
Guess what? He's back this year.
He's
they got
really
him with value.
freaking good.
And Jadeveon Clowney. Brought him in.
Oh, yeah. Linebacker.
Middle linebacker, baby. Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen.
No, they got Jadeveon playing Sam linebacker.
They run a 3-4, so he'll be.
But you just said Owe was the rusher. So why wouldn't they have him up there?
I don't know.
Clowney's changed his position.
Ojabo's a rusher too.
They don't know what they're doing. They're just playing football. They're the freaking Ravens.
Harbaugh's tricking us.
Yeah. They're going to have Clowney line up at corner.
Patrick Queen and Roquan in the middle, though. That's just unfair. Looking in the secondary.
A lot of tackles.
Safety, as we mentioned, Kyle Hamilton, Marcus Williams. So freaking good. Marlon Humphrey, underrated guy. Rocky Sin. Jalen Armour Davis, also very good. Ronald Darby. It's Ravens defense.
They're always going to be
Something
good.
else you got to mention, Justin Tucker.
Justin Tucker.
Maybe the only kicker in the NFL that's like an actual weapon.
Yeah.
Like you got to mention him when you talk about this
now?
team. They have 2 long snappers. One of them's hurt. Never mind. Okay.
How old is Justin Tucker? 34?
I don't know if he's that old. I'm going 31.
Like, is he going to be flirting with like all-time
33.
leading score?
Okay.
He'll kick to
He'll
his
turn
50.
34 this year.
George Springer probably just broke his
He's
wrist.
the best. Take a look at the schedule.
Dub.
Week 13 bye week. All right.
I like that.
Texans week 1 at Cincinnati versus Indianapolis at Cleveland.
The AFC is going to be so tough this year.
Yes. At Cleveland, at Pittsburgh. So let's stop there. Because week 6 you go to, what is this, London probably?
Yeah.
Or Germany again? London. Okay. Tottenham. So first 5 weeks, you get 3 road division games.
But you get 2 rookies at home.
That's true. You get C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson
You got
at home.
2 layups that you have to make.
You feel like those are wins, and you feel like you're not getting swept on the road.
If you want your
at the other 3
season
spots.
to go the way you think it's supposed to go, you win week 1 and you win week 3.
Is it it's got to be a good thing to have all you're done on the road in your division October 8th.
That's crazy.
You don't want to be on the road in your division late in cold weather football, especially in the AFC North.
Like that just feels like it's not fair.
That does seem unfair.
It should be a rule that you play your divisional teams in like week 10 to 17. Like it's 6 games. Like that just.
Yeah, that
Feels
is
unfair.
Very weird. They do not go on the road in their division after October 8th. That's very, very favorable for the Ravens.
Extremely favorable.
And you don't think they're going to get swept in all of those. Tottenham, though, you go there to play the Titans, and then Detroit at home, at Arizona, versus Seattle, versus Cleveland, versus Cincy. So 4 home games in 5 weeks there. I think it's another favorable stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit, Arizona, Seattle, you think you can win all of those? And
You
that's
would
all.
think.
That's coming off of a Tennessee game. And then Cleveland
you get Seattle
and Cincy.
at home at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That's very true. And Arizona is a bad team. You're going to be before Kyler. Versus Cleveland and versus Cincy. Cincy's on a Thursday night. Cleveland's going to be on a noon. So you're done with Cleveland and Cincy on week 11. Before your bye week, you're done with 2 of your divisional opponents. That's pretty crazy. And then you go to Los Angeles on that Sunday night, and then you have your bye week late. I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like the Ravens have a ton of injury issues. It might be good for Lamar having that a little bit later in the year. After your bye week versus the Rams,
Well,
who knows
good
about that
because
team?
all of your freaking receivers are injury prone.
That is true. That is true.
Like, Odell ain't never made it through a whole season. Bateman hasn't. Duvernay's going to pull a hammy because he's fast.
Zay is small.
Zay Flowers is going to pull a hamstring.
Yeah.
These dudes are walking pulled hamstrings.
Now, here's a tough part of your schedule here. At Jacksonville, at San Francisco, versus Miami. And that's on Christmas Day in San Francisco on Christmas night. That's a heck of a game.
Yeah.
And then versus Miami on New Year's Eve. And then you ended off in Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. What are you thinking here? I like the schedule. And I think the Ravens take a lead.
It's the best schedule we've seen this.
What do we have here?
tonight.
10.5?
Yeah, and that's for plus money.
10.5.
They're banking on the receivers.
I gave the Steelers 9. I gave the Browns 10.
Yeah.
Am I giving the Ravens 11? 11 and 6.
Go back to the top. Guarantees or should be guarantees. Houston, Indy. They'll either beat Cleveland or Pittsburgh at home on the road. They'll win one of them. Tennessee, you would think.
The first 9 weeks.
Arizona, Seattle.
Is it crazy to think they're
Rams.
7-2?
Hold on. I think they got 7 guarantees.
Is it crazy to think 7-2
When?
after week 9?
Lose to the Bengals, possibly. And
Maybe
lose,
slip up against like Detroit or
they're
one
not
of the road
going to go
games.
3-0 on the road in the division. They don't do. That's not
No.
the NFC North.
You're going to lose one of those, and then you'll probably lose one of like Detroit or Seattle, maybe the London game. 7-2 feels realistic. Maybe 6-3 in the first 9.
6-3 feels more realistic.
But I think 7-2 wouldn't shock nobody.
Yeah, probably not.
Your schedule does get tougher weeks 10 through 18, but you do have your bye in there.
I'm just excited to see if they're really going to let Lamar just sling it.
I don't know if it's going to be sling it, but I think he's going to be – I think he's going to throw the ball a lot more than we've seen in the past, and I'm very excited. Screw it. Give me the over.
Of course.
Give me the over. It's 11. Why not? So that's me betting on the Ravens to go higher than the Browns. That's a little bit shocking. But I love Lamar. Whenever he plays, he's a 75% winning quarterback in the regular season.
There you go.
So and that's what? 12-5? 13-4 probably? 13-4?
13-4 maybe.
I'll take 11-6. Moving on to our last team. Our last division preview. Who better than the Cincinnati Bengals? Trevor Siemian came back on a 1-year deal. Trent Taylor is back. Is he making the roster? I hope.
Yeah, he's a punt returner.
Irv Smith, tight end, another guy that they're taking this random shot on. They did it with Hayden Hurst, bringing in Irv. Orlando Brown, big signing there, 4 years, $64 million. Hopefully he can help solidify that O-line. Cody Ford, Pride of Pineville.
I'll be there Friday night.
There you go.
In the house that Cody built.
Terrell Basham, Jermaine Pratt, 3 years, $21 million at linebacker, kept him around. Sidney Jones is still fighting in the NFL. Wow, that's crazy. Nick Scott, 3-year deal. Cincinnati lost Brandon Allen, QB3 in San Francisco. Samaje Perine, as we mentioned, pretty big loss, I feel. Hayden Hurst kind of had a resurgence and went to Carolina. Eli Apple, everybody's favorite corner. Trey Flowers, Jesse Bates, Von Bell, both went to the NFC South.
That's
huge
where the issue
losses,
is.
man. And they lost their long snapper, Cal Adamatis. Very big loss there. Take a look at Cincy's draft class. You got Miles Murphy on the edge because that's what you needed. Michigan cornerback DJ Turner, Alabama safety Jordan Battle, Purdue wide receiver Charlie Jones. He's pretty good. Chase Brown from Illinois is supposed to be their new RB2. Took a Princeton wide receiver. Took a Michigan punter. Sure. Don't love Miles Murphy round 1 for them. I don't really think that edge rusher is like one of the first things I would think of for the Bengals, but who knows? Taking a look at their team. Joe Burrow. Can he stay healthy? Can he get healthy and get out there week 1? I think he does play week 1, but after that, we'll see. Hopefully the O-line holds up better around him. Orlando Brown, obviously. Ted Karras, Alex Kappa, both solid guys. Jonah Williams on the other side as well. Lowell Collins is hurt. What happened to him?
His pride.
Knee was placed on the active PUP list 1 month ago.
So that means he'll probably play?
He hasn't been activated yet, though. That's concerning 10 days away. But Marquise Goodwin just got activated today. So, running back Joe Mixon, I don't think he's getting suspended or nothing, but definitely a bit of a head case there. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. Probably the last year you see that trio.
Yep,
I think T or you might cut Tyler and then hopefully try to bring back T or maybe franchise T next year. But it's really tough to pay 2 wide receivers like they're probably going to have to with Chase and Higgins. It'll be very interesting to see how they handle all that going forward. Trent Irwin, white boy. Charlie Jones and the Princeton wide receiver, Trent Taylor down there. Irv Smith, Drew Sample, Devin Asiasi. Oh, there you go. From Cincinnati, UCLA. He was a Patriot. Yep. Orlando Brown, talked about that O-line already. Offense will be good. They're the Bengals. Defense, Sam Hubbard, Trey Hendrickson off the edge, Joseph Asai as well from Texas, Miles Murphy, your first-round draft pick. He'll get some situational rush probably. DJ Reader, BJ Hill, very good D-tackle combo right there. Logan Wilson, I love him at linebacker, very good linebacker. Akeem Davis-Gaither as well, I like him a lot. Jermaine Pratt, very solid. I like the linebacking core. Secondary is what concerns me a lot for the Bengals, especially in the division with Deshaun Watson, Lamar Jackson, and Kenny Pickett, who looks like the Steelers are going to be a pretty good passing offense. You got Chidobe Awuzie, who solid cornerback, but I don't really want him as my number 1, or definitely not my best player in my secondary. Nick Scott and Dax Hill at your safeties, 2 guys that have never had to take that number 1 safety role. I think Dax Hill can be really good. He's one of their early draft picks from, I believe, Michigan a couple years ago. And then Cam Taylor-Britt, who I'm not really sure who that is on the other side. Nebraska second-year player. You also have Mike Hilton, who's one of the best nickel corners in the NFL. So that is very good there, but losing Bates and Bell, 2 guys who've been around the league for a while, veteran presences at safety in a year where I feel like you're just going to be tested so much more than by the past than you've been in the past.
It's a bad year to cut your.
That's very true.
Lose your top 2 safeties.
Yeah, like they're gonna have to learn on the fly and very quickly. And I'm sure they play Buffalo and Kansas City as well. So
yeah.
And maybe Philly. Who knows? We'll see. Evan McPherson at kicker, very good kicker. Trent Taylor, punt returner. There we go.
Only reason he's there.
Yeah. take a look at the schedule. At Cleveland versus Baltimore versus the Rams, at Tennessee, at Arizona versus Seattle, bye week 7. So first 6, what are we feeling? Pretty favorable. The road games against Tennessee and Arizona, I think you can win those pretty easily.
I think 4-2, guaranteed at least.
The Rams, that'll be like when everyone figures out, are the Rams back?
5-1.
You think?
I
think Seattle's going to be a little bit tougher than people are giving them credit for.
Get them at home.
Yeah, that is true.
Cross country, basically.
And at 12 o'clock again.
Yep.
I think I like 4-2. I like 4-2. And it's all dependent on how healthy Burrow is this early on. $36 to get into that Arizona game. It's kind of crazy. So, yeah, 4-2, maybe 5-1. They're the Bengals. So, you can almost say that.
Then they have 2 guarantees on the back half with Houston and Indy.
You guaranteeing Houston?
Yeah. But you're playing them when you don't want to, since they're playing them late. Ideally, you'd have them early.
Another good thing about that front half, you play a team like Tennessee, which isn't going to really hurt your secondary. Arizona, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams, maybe. We don't really know what Stafford's about to be.
Pad your record early.
Yeah, and you get to kind of get those guys, get their feet wet the first 6 weeks, then readjust at the bye, because you come out guns a-blazing with San Francisco and Buffalo back-to-back. Very tough games there. We'll see how those go. I mean, probably a split there, you would say.
Yeah.
Then Houston, Baltimore on Thursday night, Pittsburgh at Jacksonville Monday night. That'll be a very fun game. Versus the Colts, versus the Vikings, at Pittsburgh, Kansas City on New Year's Eve. Oh, that'll be the Tony Romo game. And then Cleveland Week 18. Back half is, again, favorable.
I'll say not that bad, considering you're playing the Chiefs and Bills.
Well, you get Pittsburgh twice, who you probably split. You got to say split for everybody in this division, essentially. You do get the Bills, Niners, and Chiefs in the second half. You feel like they go 2-1 or 1-2 there. You don't think they sweep. You don't think they get swept. Houston and Indianapolis probably wins. Minnesota, same thing. Jacksonville, who knows? I mean, what's the line?
10.5.
10.5? Over.
Favorable 10.5. Yeah, over. I think that's easy.
I just went over on every team.
That's an easy over. Yep.
I went over on every team. I didn't expect to with the Bengals, honestly, but their schedule might be the easiest in the division.
It's not bad, especially for a first-place schedule.
Yeah, to play the Niners, Bills, and Chiefs, and 2 of those on the road.
Yeah.
Very favorable.
All right,
that's it. Yeah, that's our freaking quickest division preview we've done.
Because ain't nobody else here to rile you up. Let me go first.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, I got Peyton's.
Okay.
Peyton, we've got number 5, Jari Alexander. Number 4, Patrick Surtain. Number 3, Marshawn Lattimore, a.k.a. Mike Evans' daddy. Number 2, Sauce Gardner. And number 1, Jalen Ramsey. Pretty good list there.
Yeah, not bad at all. Number 5, I got Tre'Davious White.
Oh, okay.
Full off season. 4, Pat Surtain. 3, Marshawn Lattimore. 2, Jalen Ramsey. Number 1, Jair Alexander.
Whoa. Where'd you have Sauce? 3?
6.
What? Sauce?
Let me see him do it again.
You're lying. You're lying. You've seen Hard Knocks. That's crazy. You're insane. That's insane. All right, I'll finish it out with my cornerbacks. Number 5, I went Trayvon Diggs. Kind of a little bit of a wild card. I've been very low on Diggs his first 2 years of his career, but I think with Stephon Gilmore on the other side, Micah Parsons still coming into his own, and Dan Quinn defense still, I think that Trayvon Diggs is going to have a really good year, and he can kind of be more of a version of what he was his rookie year with 12 picks, and also take continue to take those steps that he took year 2 as more of a consistent, actual defensive player. I think Diggs is going to be very good. I think that he can be definitely in the talks for number 5 or even higher after the year, so kind of take the upside pull there. Number 4, big play Slay, my guy from Philly. I love watching him. Feels like he's always around the ball. I had to give him some love. I knew no one else would have him on their list. So, number 3, Jalen Ramsey. Almost was my number 1. I felt like my top 3 were interchangeable, but Jalen, he's done it all. And I do think that the 2 guys on top of him are just younger, and it's almost become a young man's league at cornerback. And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of like wide receiver, where wide receivers come into the league and they're just like ready to ball. We saw last year Sauce and Tariq Woolen from UTSA both came in and just were 2 of the best cornerbacks in the NFL immediately, and it was just it's just been a shift, and I guess just how crazy athletic so many players are nowadays that they just come in and they're better than ever. So, number 2 for me, I got Patrick Surtain. Very good corner, and has to go up against a very tough AFC West. Having to go against Keenan, and used to have to go against Tyreek, stuff like that. Devontae Adams. Very, very tough division, and he's consistently one of the best. And then number 1, I went Sauce. I did put him at number 1. I think that he was just so dominant last year that obviously he's going to have some regression, but I don't think he's going to take much, and I really think he's already arrived. And maybe he can get better. If so, that's very scary for the league, and we might be getting close to seeing something along the lines of Darrelle Revis right back in New York, Revis Island. But yeah, we'll see with Sauce. I really like him a lot, and Hard Knocks has made me like him more as a person. He just seems like a good dude, while also cocky, and he doesn't have the normal cornerback ego, but at the same time, this dude's named Sauce Gardner. Like, he knows that I'm that dude, and I like that a lot. I really like Sauce. I did not have Marshawn on my list, but Marshawn's a very good player. I think, as I said earlier, him and Denzel Ward are both kind of the same player for me. They can't stay healthy enough to officially crack it, but they're both talented enough to make this list. Cornerback's very deep in the NFL. This has been a tough list. Had very fun doing all of this and doing the previews. Football is so close. Chance is already out of here, so I'm about to take this out. Had a great time. Don't know how the shortest pod was the most anticipated division, but yeah, here we are. I guess because no one was here to piss me off about the Browns or Lamar, or I didn't get to say Burrow sucks to anybody just to make them say I'm insane. So, yeah, that's it for this one. Check us out. Check out our pick'ems. Those are going to be very fun to do this year. We'll be following along all year long on the pod. Check out the fantasy podcast. So much fun to do that. I'll be on it again tomorrow night. You'll see that episode come out Tuesday. Not sure when this episode is dropping. Maybe Wednesday, maybe Monday. I don't know. We'll see. When you hear it, you'll hear it though. So that's it for this one. Chop on, baby. Get some more wins, Braves. All right.
This ain't how it's supposed to be. It should be